The everlasting name of murderer. I looked around as the trees' shadows were cast in the bushes as the purple dying remnants of a sunset contracted above the western Allegheny Mountains. The copse's limbs surrounding me were rustling as if the souls of those beyond were shaking them, taunting me with fright. I looked behind me, all the while expecting and yet not ready for an unseen foe. As I made a fitful headway through the thicket, the barbs persisted in tearing away at my clothes. My tortuously slow progress consisted of constantly turning to see if the forest had betrayed me to the enemy, waiting for me behind the wall of decaying foliage. My heart stopped as I heard a snap of a twig directly behind me. Its raspy attempt at breathing sent shivers down my spine. Within the void between breaths, I sprinted. The thorns that I had previously gingerly moved out of my way were now tearing through my skin, leaving my coarse shirt in tatters. Terrified, I kept running from whatever it was. As I ran, deep in my heart, I knew I deserved death's lackey's pursuit, but all I could focus on was staying alive. I looked ahead to a small ravine with a stream, brown with muck. I dove in, hoping to lose my stalker. I lay limp at the lip of the stream, conserving my last breath. The frigid water conquered my body with its gelid ooze. I looked up through the black night, searching for a glimpse of death. I heard a snorting noise through the reeds. It slithered in my direction, and it peered down at the water. It gave up its search of the stream and walked along the edge of the clearing, searching for a sign of my escape. I crawled through the tall grass, silent as a snake. When I reached the perimeter of the clearing, I quickly slid behind a tree and caught a glimpse of the monster. His body was slashed, covered in fresh blood, and his bones were exposed to the moonlight. The eternally suffering soul of the grave turned and lumbered over to the tree and kept seeking me. I grabbed a nearby stick out of a pile of leaves, careful not to make a noise. I crept up. I looked at the raw rip and things back with vicious eagerness and brought my log down into the former laceration. The strike that should have brought victory had gone straight through him. He turned around and his wounds all began to mend miraculously. He turned to me and his face began changing. Out of the tatters of his clothes grew a long, divine wedding dress. She had a spear through her chest and her head was cracked open. She looked me in the eyes, and I could see how completely and utterly becoming the sinful man I was had been my own choice. She was the penultimate incarnation of the amount I had damned myself. My stupor upon seeing her was interrupted by her wretched attempt at screaming. She began floating towards me with her arms outstretched. I ran through the woods on all fours, trying to escape the grip of death. Then I fell down through the undisturbed overgrowth of a hill, too steep for a path. She was gone. Suddenly, she floated down to me and took the spear out of her chest with great struggle. I backed up and scratched at the walls in vain. In vain! Taking aim, she threw it. It swiftly came towards me, and my lost thoughts were of how I wanted to murder her again. I would gladly kill each one of them again if I could.